Coming up on Good Day Columbia, bond denied for two people accused of seriously abusing a little girl in Kershaw County. The latest on the girl's condition. Plus, this woman says she helped to give the gift of life to her boss and then she was fired. Find out what she's doing now. And high-speed cup stacking is about to make its debut at the Junior Olympics. The video you've got to see. Good Day Columbia starts now.
Live from the Watch Fox studios. Start your day the local way with Good Day Columbia.
She was obviously in great pain with these injuries. Anybody would be.
New details this morning about a shocking case of alleged child abuse in Kershaw County. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for Good Day Columbia. I'm Freddie Clairvaux. More on your top stories in a moment, but first, let's get straight to Alexis King with a look at your weather forecast. Good morning, Alexis.
Good Tuesday morning to you, Freddie. Hope everybody's feeling good. So early in the morning. Got a few things we're going to talk about throughout the hour. First thing you'll notice this morning as you step outside, some of you may be seeing some morning frost out there. So just be on the lookout for that. It won't last forever. Don't worry. Once again, we are going to be left with cooler than average temperatures for today. However, we have sunny skies. A few less clouds than yesterday, actually. It's going to be bright and beautiful and breezy once again. Now, it's going to die down a little bit tonight, but just keep that in mind for your day today. Right now, mostly clear skies and 39 degrees, and our high today will ultimately be 69. Freddie?
All right, Alexis, thank you so much for that. Checking your top stories this morning, bond denied for a Kershaw County mother and her boyfriend charged in a child abuse case. Sheriff Jim Matthews calls it one of the worst cases he's ever seen. A 4-year-old girl was malnourished and suffered 2 broken arms and a broken leg. The girl's mother, Catherine Ammons, and her boyfriend, James Watson, are in jail, facing several charges in the case, including abuse and neglect. Sheriff Matthews says the couple admitted to not only abusing the little girl, but also rehearsing with her what to say to cover up the abuse. Now, according to Sheriff Matthews, late Monday afternoon, a Kershaw County judge denied bond to the couple on 2 of the 3 charges. Well, new information after an early morning burglary at the T&T and H Firearms store on Garners Ferry Road. This is surveillance video from the incident. Sheriff's deputies say found the truck used to ram through the store's front door and still about 33 weapons. Investigators also say the truck was recently stolen from a business on Two Notch Road. None of the weapons have been found at this time. The guns are valued at $36,000 and the estimated damage to the building is about $5,000. Making political headlines this morning, the federal trial of former presidential candidate John Edwards begins with the prosecution calling on its star witness. On the first day of trial, former campaign aide Andrew Young had just as much attention on him. John Edwards' defense called Young the manipulator, taking money from the rich campaign donors and using it to build his own house. When Young took the stand, he testified about being suspicious about Edwards as Edwards was having an affair with Rail Hunter. Edwards faces 6 charges. He's accused of violating campaign finance regulations by using nearly $1 million in donations to hide his pregnant mistress. He's pled not guilty. Going cross country now, Jennifer Hudson is forced to relive some of the most painful days of her life. Hudson took the witness stand at the trial of her brother-in-law, William Balfour. He's accused of killing Hudson's mother, brother, and nephew in 2008. Hudson told the jury no one in her family wanted her sister to marry Balfour. Balfour says he's not guilty. His attorneys argued there is no forensic evidence linking him to the murders. Prosecutors say Balfour went on a violent rampage sparked by jealousy.
I felt like someone had ripped my heart out. I started to cry.
Starting to cry indeed. A New York woman says she donated a kidney for her boss and says she lost her job because of her good deed. Debbie Stevens says Jackie Brucoa convinced her to donate a kidney so she could move up on the transplant list. Stevens says she had complications during the recovery, yet was pressured to work and even transferred to a further location. Stevens says that she was fired after her lawyer wrote a letter to her employer about the treatment she was receiving. Wow, that's messed up. Wow.
Messed up indeed, my friend.
Switching gears, Tyler Ryan, you know, we're talking about some video.
Yeah.
You came across a couple of interesting ones this morning, didn't you?
You know, I sure did, man. I guess if you call cup stacking all the way to the Olympics, a one-legged biker, and a soccer ball that took an incredible journey interesting, check it out.
Take a look at this. These children are hoping to stack their way to the Olympics. They're competing to represent Sacramento at the Junior Olympics this summer in speed stacking. Now, it's the first time the sport will ever be featured in the games. To improve their precision and speed, they practice stacking cups several days a week.
These kids are champions. They're going to go to win, and they're going to represent the city really well.
Todd Key typically bikes more than 150 miles a week through Scottsdale, Arizona, and he does it with just one leg. Key lost his right leg to cancer when he was 17. His right arm was left disfigured after a bad break. He bikes using a plastic sleeve under his right hip and an armrest for his right elbow.
It turned into a passion because once you start doing this kind of exercise, you just want more and more and more.
He's hoping to inspire other amputees to get on the bike again. This soccer ball seems to have spent the last year floating across the Pacific. It was recently found in a remote Alaskan beach. Apparently it came there from a Japanese town 3,000 miles away that was hit last year by the tsunami. It's marked with the name of a school and a 16-year-old student that may soon be reunited with its owner.
You know, it doesn't look anything like Wilson.
Wilson!
It doesn't look anything like Wilson's
Come
eyeballs
back,
or anything.
Wilson.
I don't know. That was actually a pretty great story. That biker is pretty amazing.
You know, honestly, inspiring me. I know they mentioned he was inspiring other people.
Sure.
No, I have to get out on the bike. Look at him. And I loved what he said was the more he does it, the more he wants to do it. So true.
Right. And you see the smile on his face. I mean, here's a guy, he's missing a leg. He's got a jacked up right arm, and he's still like, hey, this is life, and I'm going to work hard. I love it. It's a great story. So there you go. That's interesting.
It's a good thing.
That's it.
Let's talk about the temperatures today. It's good depending on if you like really chilly temperatures to wake up to. Look at these temps. 39 degrees in Camden this morning, 36 in Sumter, 37 in Manning, slightly warmer as you move toward Orangeburg, but most places in the upper 30s, lower 40s for the Midlands this morning. So another cold morning here for us. Don't worry, things are going to turn around here in the next day or so, but we got to get through today. And as I mentioned, we could see some frost in areas this morning as well. Now the breezy conditions are going to continue. Cloud coverage leaving the area though, so we're going to be left with wide open sunny skies today, so that's a nice thing for us. And we are looking for, as I mentioned, a beautiful sunny day with breezy conditions continuing, but they're going to ease off tonight. But we also do have that lake wind advisory in effect from 11 o'clock this morning until 7 p.m. tonight. So just keep that in mind, much like yesterday. Visibility, not a problem for you this morning everywhere in the Midlands and across the state, actually seeing just fine. So we're not really noticing any fog developing right now. And as we take a look at your travel watch, everything looks good so far, but you know, we're just getting started here. We'll take a quick trip here around the east coast of the country and see how things look. If you're traveling to New York, could see some rain there for today. Philadelphia and D.C. both look cloudy. If you're going to be tracking through the Midwest, Detroit and Chicago also cloudy skies, but I don't anticipate too much weather there. Dallas and Houston, best bets for making a connection. And the only thing that might keep your plane on the ground today would be those wind conditions, so just keep that in mind. Call your carrier just to make sure that you get out on time. Taking a look at your day, sunny skies with a high of 69 degrees.
All right, Alexis, thank you so much for that. Prom season is upon us, but is it more difficult these days to balance beauty with budget for the big night? Adam Pinsker takes a look at how times are changing for seniors heading to prom. Plus, Tyler and Janet break down the average cost of that unforgettable evening when Good Day returns. Stay with us.
You're watching Good Day Columbia with Janet Parker, Tyler Ryan, Friendy Clairvaux, and Alexis King with your weather and traffic. Start your day the local way with Good Day Columbia.
Oh,
a
terrific Tuesday.
I do have lint on me, don't I?
I know. See, I'm trying to help him out here this morning.
Appreciate it. A piece of lint. Everything else okay?
He's excited because he has on his little new suit.
I got a new suit. I'm excited about the new suit. Like, you know, I'm just excited.
Look very spiffy this morning. Anyway, folks, speaking of suits and dressing up and all of that, for many young men and women, high school prom is a rite of passage, but is the cost of all the glitz and glamour getting a little out of hand?
Adam Pinsker takes a look at how this year's prom goers are looking at a pretty good budget.
Linda Engel keeps a wide variety of attire for young women, whether they have cash to burn or are on a strict budget. The owner of Jolynn's Bridal in Irmo says the cost of outfitting them top to bottom could be as much as $700 or less if they are smart shoppers.
If you go for the $200 dress, Then with the shoes and the earrings, I would say probably about $350.
Guys can also look dapper this prom season without breaking the bank. The average cost to rent a tuxedo, $125 to $150, and that includes the shoes. USA Today reports the average cost of going to the prom in 2012 was more than $1,000, up nearly $300 from last year. These numbers include transportation, food, and tickets. Some high schoolers have learned to cut costs without sacrificing style.
You just have to learn to be smart about it. Like this year I decided to, instead of rent a tux, buy a tux, and it has cost me about the same amount, if not less, to rent the tux versus buying the tux.
Engel is expecting sales to ramp up as several schools near her shop are holding prom in the coming weeks. She also expects most prom goers will be sympathetic to their parents' budgets.
It's a very rarity that someone does come in and want the $700 to $800 dress and, you know, kicks her feet if she doesn't get it.
Balancing beauty on a budget. In Irmo, Adam Pinsker, Watch Fox News.
And she's buying a stairway to heaven. That is the quintessential prom song.
Not mine.
Stairway to Heaven.
Because mine was circa day 2000s, and yours obviously was.
It is track 4 off Led Zeppelin 4. Track
before
4.
that.
If you have a cassette, of course, it's the fourth. It's on side A. If you have a cassette of that. But the point is, it's track 4. It's Stairway to Heaven. It is the perfect prom ending song.
The point is, paying for prom has gotten out of hand.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and break down that cost for you just a little more. Interesting facts, interesting numbers on the average. This is what it's going to cost you, by the way. The related expenses, of course, a prom dress, $250. Tickets to the prom, $20 each. You can handle that. Shoes are $40. Beauty salon, $100.
Who's getting $98 for the beauty salon?
I don't pay $98 for my beauty salon.
Salon de la Janet. It won't be $98. Well, it doesn't stop there, folks. There's also the florist. That's $50. Accessories, you know, the jewelry, the gloves,
because we need to buy y'all like a little
$65
thing.
We'll buy you a little boutonniere too. I mean, you buy us a corsage. A good date does that. I'm just saying. You've got the makeup, you know, the nail polish, lipstick, eyeshadow, mascara, all that foolishness. All the accessories, $65. Makeup, $75, and then the tux rental, $150.
And don't forget transportation. That's going to cost you about $150, 53%. Of course, going to rent a limo. Dinner, $60, and photography, just $32. I thought photography's a lot more.
Yeah, if you choose to buy the pictures. But nowadays, cell phones, nope. Stay in there. Okay, let me get you on my camera phone. We don't need these pictures.
You know,
I had to, like, I didn't really even want to go to my prom. My mom was like, no, you're going to prom.
I went to competing schools because I was dating this chick at the school, like the competing school. And I actually just found my prom I had an all-white, it's awesome, all-white tux.
Did you do the all-white?
I had the hair feathered back, parted down the middle.
We need to find it. I have my whole little prom book. We should bring in our prom pictures.
I have my prom pic. I found it the other day. Her name was Melanie Paquette. In your mind, you always think the best of people.
Bless her heart.
No, in your mind, you always remember the best of people. I remember being a lot prettier. Just saying.
What? Did you get lost just into? I got lost too.
No, I'm just saying. I was looking at the picture and I thought, wow, I don't remember looking like that.
Anyway, here's my bit about the prom. Okay, it's not their wedding. You know, it's not. And then you have people that do sweet 16s and they do proms and they do weddings. It's like, calm down, people. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And now, what I do with my prom dress, because I wore my prom dress again in a pageant. Now, if you're going to reuse this dress,
you can't reuse.
Yes, you can.
You can. It's like regifting.
No, you can. Listen,
that's why you rent
smart. Reuse the dress. Otherwise, you'll give it away to someone else for their prom
or something. You're telling me
or
that it's okay.
You do the MORP in junior high, so you can give it to somebody when they go to the MORP.
You're telling me it'd be cool because on Facebook you're gonna have.
I've done it. Okay, but here's the thing.
Like, oh, look, you wear the same dress.
No, but when I did it, it was the day when Facebook didn't exist yet, so it was okay. Just saying. Now, I'm sorry, there's Facebook, so oh well.
800 to $1,000 is about what you're going to spend on a prom, guys, and that's the bottom line. All right, Janet, here's the deal.
What's the deal?
Today's show has to be absolutely amazing. I hear there may be an opening for a certain Wednesday and Thursday night program.
Is that right? Well, Tyler, you are not going to be the new American Idol host. I'm sorry to tell you that. Yes, I do. In fact, there may not be a new host at all. I'll tell you why coming up.
I can't get past the fact that Tyler's still rocking the cassettes. Really? When did you go to prom? Oh my goodness, Chris. Somebody get that boy an MP3 player. Oh my gosh. I didn't hear anything past cassette. I just stopped in time. As did you, apparently.
Okay, let's talk about the weather when we come back, and we'll take a look around the southeast and the Midlands as well. Stick around. This morning, Ryan Seacrest is sticking with the job that propelled him to national fame.
That means I'm not being employed by them anytime soon.
Yeah.
Well, he announced Monday that he's going to continue to host American Idol after agreeing to a contract with Fox. Variety reports that a 2-year extension is in the works. Now, the show has gone through many changes over the past 11 years. Whew. 11 years the show's been on the air. Of course, the departure of longtime hosts, judges anyway, Simon Cowell, Paula Abdul.
Lindsay Lohan has a new acting gig. Lifetime Network confirms the troubled actress is set to star as Elizabeth Taylor in the TV film Liz and Dick. The movie chronicles Taylor's romance with actor Richard Burton, who she married and divorced twice. Filming is scheduled to begin in June.
You know, I guess that's what we're doing wrong with our careers.
Man.
We don't have any drug addiction problems, and we haven't stolen anything. We don't have a criminal record. Apparently, that's how you get a job on Lifetime.
Oh, well, I'm all good.
It's true.
I'm all good.
Train wreck. Well, Lady Gaga has an impressive poker face. You know? That's true. We're going to tell you about that here in just a little bit. But look at that now. She actually, it's a very real-looking wax statue of her. Look at that thing. That is
It is.
It's almost real. The statue is one of 8 Lady Gaga figures at the Madame Thaddeus Wax Museum worldwide. Excuse me. It's one's going to be on display in Washington through the end of June, and then it's going to return back to Vegas. But take a look at that thing. That is...
It is pretty. I saw that one when I was in Vegas back in December, and it does pretty much look like her. I didn't know she was that short.
One of my VHS videos of Bon Jovi, I used to watch those a lot. There was a wax,
No.
there was a wax statue of Bon Jovi and a bunch of people taking pictures, and then actually John stood next to the wax statue of John.
Oh,
and it was
nothing.
freaky. No, it was
okay.
identical. It was really freaky.
Yeah.
He was standing there with his tattoos and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird.
I just expected hers to be a little more over the top, though. I mean, I know she's got the bow up there, but she's so over the top. I wanted it to be
Well,
like
there's 7
Gaga,
others.
Gaga.
Maybe that's like the
downplay. But that one was in Vegas. You'd think that would be like the one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hotlanta just got hotter. What city leads the U.S. and Canada when it comes to trends in popular music? Well, it's not New York, L.A., Chicago, or Nashville, according to researchers behind the paper, The Geographic Flow of Music. Atlanta is the trendsetter. The study focused on music listening habits, used data from the internet radio website Last.fm, found Atlanta listeners were the best at predicting what everyone would be listening to a few weeks ahead of time. The ATL was tops for overall music and hip-hop, and that's very, very true. Because a lot of music comes out there way before it comes out here in Columbia or in South Carolina.
There's many reasons for that.
Well, I know, but it's like you can kind of almost anticipate like what's coming. That's I guess that's part of that article, but yeah. Hotlanta.
Hotlanta's 3 hours. A 3-hour drive to hot
right.
music in the ATL. How about the COL? I guess it's CAE, but a lot of people don't know the airport code, so we'll call it the COL.
People
The COL,
refer to Columbia as either COLA or the Met.
The Met?
Like the Metro? The Met?
I've never
You've
heard of the Met
of it called
never
the
in my
Met?
life. And I've been here a long time. The Met?
Just coming to the 2000s. Just coming.
The Mets. All right, guys, bring it in. This thing's really big. You have to step out the way. Come on, bring it in. Bring it in, guys. It's huge. It's huge. Come bring it. You have to really get out of the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's huge. Come on, bring it in. Bring it in. And when we talk big, we're talking huge. All right, come back here and talk about this. We're talking humongous. It is our great big giveaway.
This guy, details on it coming up, folks. Stay with us.
I expected more from American Airlines. I put my heart and soul into this job for all this time.
But first, American Airlines labor union workers are concerned about their future.
Checking out your consumer headlines this morning at 5:30. American Airlines labor union members protesting Monday outside a federal bankruptcy court in New York. American officials are asking the bankruptcy judge to be able to make changes to his union contracts. Union workers are concerned about their future.
After 33 years, I just turned 60 years old. I expected more from American Airlines. I put my heart and soul into this job for all this time. I have kids in college. In fact, my youngest son goes to Fordham, where the judge went. And I may not be able to afford to keep him there unless this all pans out for us. So I'm a little disgruntled, to be sure.
American wants to make several cost-cutting measures, including the elimination of 13,000 union jobs and a reduction in the company's pension plan. On Friday, the union supported a potential bid by U.S. Airways to merge with American Airlines' parent company. A new tool called Privacy Score for Facebook is designed to let people know how their favorite Facebook apps privacy policies stack up. It's a new program run by research firm Privacy Choice. The service rates more than 200 apps based on criteria like how much data is stored, how long customer data is shared, or if the app provides an opt-out feature. Privacy advocates are applauding the new service, saying that while it's meant for consumers, it will give app developers the incentive to clean up their sharing practices.
Oh, I hate when they change the privacy things. It just messes me all up. I got to go there and make sure I'm all good to go. Thank you for that, Friendy. Actually gave me something to do this afternoon. We're seeing mostly clear skies right now and about 41 degrees waiting for you outside, 68 by the time you pick your kids up after school today. So make sure as they're headed out to the bus stop, they have something to keep them warm. It's not going to warm up too terribly much today. We're not going to really get out of the upper 60s and then add on the wind, and it just feels a little chilly, much like yesterday, slightly warmer, but only marginally so. Taking a look at the temperatures around the Midlands right now, we're seeing basically mid to upper 30s in most places with the exception of Orangeburg at 41, also Aiken 41 degrees. Everybody else seeing fairly chilly temperatures. Winnsboro actually, okay. Warmest spot in the Midlands at 43 degrees. Now we had a few clouds overnight. There might be just a couple lingering, but most of them moving on out of here, clearing the skies for lots of sunshine today. It's going to be a beautiful day, but just on the chilly side and a little bit breezy as well. So you know the drill, just like yesterday. One more day of this and then things start to improve. Now the good news is we aren't seeing any surface moisture, really no fog to speak of, so visibility is fantastico. Looking good all over the state, so whether you're driving around I-20, I-26, or I-77, all clear right now. I just looked at the Highway Patrol report. Everything's moving smoothly, but we're just getting started this morning. I hope everybody does remain safe out there. Quick look here at Malfunction Junction. A few people out on the roads this morning. Should have dry conditions and no problems as far as that is concerned. About 41 degrees when you head out the door at 9 o'clock this morning with winds lightly coming out of the northwest. They're going to be bumping up to about 10 to 20 mile per hour wind speeds by the time you're driving home. 68 degrees under sunny skies will be your daytime high for today.
Well, there may be some trouble ahead for an extremely successful reality show. When we come back, we'll talk about why The Bachelor has many people asking questions about the producer's procedures. Stay with us.
5:36 now to your Facebook story of the day. It seems some Bachelor hopefuls are fed up with the show's choices for the starring role. Last week, two African-American men, Nathaniel Claybrooks and Christopher Johnson, filed a federal lawsuit in Nashville against ABC and the popular shows The Bachelor and The Bachelorette.
Now, the lawsuit claims the shows engaged in patterns of racial discrimination because certain ethnic groups were blocked from having a chance to participate in leading roles. Well, only Claybrooks and Johnson were named in the suit. It was filed on behalf of all the other people of color who have attempted to land a leading role.
Now, the complaint goes on to say that after 10 years of being on the air, neither The Bachelor nor The Bachelorette has featured a single person of color, whether African American, Latino, Asian, or any other minority race or ethnicity in the central role.
And I noticed that the guys in front of me, the white males in front of me, I guess they took maybe like 45 minutes to an hour. But when I went up, it took me maybe 15, 20 minutes. It kind of rushed me through. They had me to do a 360-degree turn, and once I did that, my interview was over.
In order for it to be 23 seasons, 16 on Bachelor, 7 on Bachelorette, we haven't had that opportunity. Because, in my opinion, all the shows that people of color do have, it's always something of argumentative or something that sheds a bad light. We never get a show that explains and shows that we also do have love and affection towards one another.
Now, in a statement from the show's creator, it says the complaint is baseless. It adds there have been various participants of color throughout the series' history, and the producers have been consistently and publicly vocal about seeking diverse candidates for both programs.
This is definitely a talker, actually. This is definitely something where you can think about certain things where, on one side, if you're seeing how, are there specific individuals that a producer wants for a specific, like, you know, a TV show or a movie role, that's exactly, maybe this person fits for that role.
Right.
And then on the other side, you hear arguments where some people who started talking about this were saying that how many times the African Americans are viewed in the catfighting, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know, the I Love New York, Flavor Flav, the more of the confrontational shows, as opposed to like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, where it's like more really, in a sense, downgraded, or it's not as
dramatic,
thank you, as the others. And so that's what some of the folks have been talking about, you know, people with this lawsuit. So,
but here's the question: if the 20 so seasons, you combine the two shows together, no one else has had an issue with it. Is it just sour grapes on these two guys? Because one looks like little Martin Lawrence there, and the other guy, maybe he just didn't fit the role they were looking for. Is this just sour grapes on their part? Hey, I didn't get the role. I should have. Well, who says who?
That's an
I think they're speaking not just for them, just in general. I think they're speaking for all of the people who may have been looked over. You know, I don't think it's just like, oh, well, I was looking. You know, I think it's like, well, I was, but what about everybody else that may have been at the same time?
But maybe that isn't. They just didn't. Let me look at that guy. Maybe he didn't. They didn't want him.
And that's the thing, like, because I mean, this is the first time a reality TV show has been attacked with a lawsuit like this. I mean, Millionaire Matchmaker, they have different matchmakers or different, you know, millionaires of all different ethnicities, and they come in and they're like, okay, that my millionaire would not be interested in you, and it's a criteria. But if they come forward and say that, then maybe they won't have a problem. I don't know.
You know, but if it's the producers own the show, they can cast anybody they want. They shouldn't be forced to cast anybody.
That's a
you know, sorry, but if it's my show, if you don't fit my role, too bad.
And that's and that's what this lawsuit is based on, because I guess what they're trying to look at is what, and another aspect is that why isn't a producer casting someone who's African American? Is it just because maybe it's a personal preference, or could it just be because maybe the producer is afraid? Because they also talked about being afraid of the advertisers pulling out if the star bachelor were African American. So that's another issue that they were.
Yeah, there's a lot of things surrounding this case, and here's what we're asking you this morning. We want to know: are the producers sending a message that America is only interested in watching a white male on the show, or is this a case of political correctness? Now, some of you already commenting this morning. Al writes, good way to fix it, take the stupid show off the air.
Wow.
There you go, Al.
It's an ABC show. Why not, Al? There you go.
Wow.
Well, listen, we'd love for you to jump in the conversation stream as well. Post your comments right on our Facebook page, and we certainly do not discriminate. Just go ahead and type away. Do it. You can also tweet us at hashtag WACHGDC.
Now let's check in with Alexis King to see what fine arts events are happening around the Midlands this weekend. Hey, Alexis.
Friendy, it is so jam-packed this weekend. I'm going to have to move through these real fast. I hope you guys have a pencil and a paper. Andy, all right, part of Indie Grits Festival, the Craft Bar Happy Hour. That's right, cocktails and super glue. What could happen? What could possibly go wrong there? Well, that's going to be at the Columbia Museum of Art. So that's right. You can get together with your friends, have a cocktail or beverage of your choice. I'm sure they serve sweet tea too, and start making fun things. Don't you think they're going to come up with some crazy stuff? I do. Check that out tonight from 6 to 9 o'clock. All right, Quintron and Miss Pussycat, another band brought to us by Indie Grits, straight out of the 90s. Alt band. Everyone's real excited that they're back together. 9 p.m. at 5 Points Pub. So check that out. Okay. Many screenings, over 50 screenings at the Nickelodeon and the New Nick. This evening you can see Disabled but Able to Rock at 5:30. Plus there's a ton more. I just couldn't put them all on there, but this one looked really interesting. Great documentary, so definitely see if you can make that. Make it at Indie Grits. So do you remember Christian Niemi was here last week talking about the Slow Food Initiative and Slow Food Columbia? Well, tonight he's giving kind of like a cooking class for $25. You get a steak, you get a cocktail, and secrets from a chef. I mean, seriously, who could ask for more? Quickly, we'll talk about Cine Movements. This is where the orchestra created a song and then filmmakers made a movie to the music instead of the other way around. You see how that works? Very, very cool. That's going to be tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Drayton Hall, so make time for that. That's a really, really interesting, I think, going to be a great show. Isha Wang showing at City Art through Saturday, and of course Poetry Lounge and Open Mic at the Richland County Public Library. That goes off on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So lots of stuff to do around the Midlands. I will have even more for you in the next hour. Stick around. You're watching Good Day on Watch Fox. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, and we do have sunshine for today. 69 is the daytime high. Watch out for those winds coming out of the west. They're going to be gusting again up to 20 miles per hour. Thank you.
Hey, Alexis, here's what's happening around the Midlands today. We're headed out the door. The City of Columbia is proud to host a press conference recognizing the winners of the Trash the Poop Design Contest. The press conference taking place today at 10 at Riverfront Park. That's right, Trash the Poop. The campaign, sponsored by the City of Columbia, Lexington County, and Keep the Midlands Beautiful, aimed to encourage doggy parents to bring in a bag, scoop after their dogs, does their business, and toss it in the trash. Habitat for Humanity and the Habitat Restore will host a recycling event today to celebrate Earth Day. Shred 360 will set up in the Restore parking lot on Sunset Boulevard and will offer the public free shredding from 11 to 2. Richland One schools have won 45 Healthier U.S. School Challenge Awards from the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the U.S. Department of Education. A celebration reception recognizing the winners will be held today at 8:30 in the auditorium of C.A. Johnson High School. The Healthier U.S. School Challenge Award was established to recognize schools that are creating healthier school environments through good nutrition and physical activity.
Well, guys, if you're planning to stay put, and I hope you are, refill the coffee cup, grab some couch, and get ready for some moody Mother Nature video. All the way from Whispers of White to Breaking Waves. Either way, you do not want to miss it, that is for sure. And if you're looking to expand your family by, well, 4 paws, we may have just the furry friend for you. His name is George, and he needs a home, and we're talking about protecting your pets against this year's flea season. We hear it's going to be bad. We're talking about it all coming up next hour.
All right, Alexis, thank you so much for that. Now, checking your top stories this morning, we now know the name of the victim from last weekend's deadly shooting on Columbia's North Main Street. Richland County Coroner Gary Watts says 22-year-old Derek Connors died from gunshot wounds. Columbia police say Connors was driving on North Main when someone shot at his car Sunday morning. His car ended up hitting a utility pole. He later died at a hospital. Columbia police continue to investigate. Anyone with information on this incident is urged to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. And a Columbia man is accused of breaking into 5 vacant homes in an attempt to steal ovens and microwaves. 42-year-old Craig Cooper charged with burglary. Cooper has been arrested on similar charges. More local headlines this morning. The capital city getting a little more beautiful. Columbia leaders, along with officials from Scott's Miracle Grow Company, dedicating a new green space as part of the I-126 Greystone Boulevard beautification project. The money comes from a $25,000 grant from Scott's Grow 1000 campaign. That campaign was created to develop 1,000 new gardens and green spaces in the U.S., Canada, and Europe by 2018. The green space also enhances the entranceway to the Riverbank Zoo and Gardens. On the State House watch, it's budget week. Senators began meeting to hammer out on the state's spending plan. Lawmakers have a lot to consider this week, including pay raises for state workers and more money for special needs students. The House's plan for the general fund portion of the state budget calls for a 2% pay raise for most state workers. One Columbia lawmaker, Senator Darrell Jackson, says he wants to increase it to 4%. Making political headlines, Mitt Romney hasn't quite sewn up the Republican nomination yet, but he's already thinking about his number 2. Romney will campaign with most of his top vice presidential prospects. Florida U.S. Senator Marco Rubio is the top contender. Rubio says he'll keep silent and let the process play out, even if it means both he and Romney dodge questions about his experience for the job. Today's primaries in Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Delaware are the first since Rick Santorum dropped out. Romney's expecting decisive victories over Ron Paul and Newt Gingrich, who is broke and could end his campaign any day now. For up-to-the-minute political news, check out our politics tab on our website, MidlandsConnect.com. To your World Watch this morning, Sudanese warplanes struck into South Sudan Monday. 2 towns were hit when the plane crossed over a disputed border. According to a Sudanese military commander, more than 1,200 people were killed. A spokesman denies any use of the military aircraft to bomb the South. Many fear the warplane attack could lead to a full-scale war. Well, ladies, feast your eyes on this. One of the world's oldest and most storied diamonds is up for sale. Woo! Look at that bling. More than 34 carat sparkling gem in a rare pair cuts and is valued, of course, we can't afford it, $4 million. It dates back to French King Henry IV, who brought it in 1604. Now, he brought it for his wife. The 400-year-old Boss Saucy is on display in Paris and will move on to London and Zurich before being auctioned off in Geneva on May the 14th. You know what? Can I just hold it for a day? Let me just hold it. I'll tell you how it feels. Going cross country now. Fishermen fighting something other than the high seas on the Columbia River. Now take a look at this video, everyone. The fishermen landed a wild salmon and were getting ready to release it back in the water. Then a sea lion grabs the net and swam off with the fish. Talk about perpetrator. Nearly pulling one of the fishermen into the water. There it is right there. Do you see that right there? Now, earlier this year, a federal judge allowed the capture and killings of salmon-eating California sea lions at the Bonneville Dam. One more time, see how the sea lion is like, no, you're not going anywhere with my fish. Pretty interesting. We'll talk about oxymoron, everyone. Quentin Johnson says he was driving on an empty snow-covered road in Smithport, Pennsylvania, when he came across this sign. Right now it is 31 degrees and it is still snowing pretty heavy there. Now, if you're wondering, the sign says Spring Bazaar, and obviously it's not spring. The snow is extremely wet, not spring, not temperatures that is. The snow is extremely wet and chilling into the branches of trees, weighing them down. Hey, it says everyone put away their shovels and snow plows and got their lawnmowers and started moving the snow away. We'll take a look at this impressive display of Mother Nature's power in Iowa. Strong winds from Lake Erie caused huge waves to crash onto shore. It also knocked out power to more than 1,000 customers. Ohio is in the path of a rare April storm system, dumping rain and snow in the northeast. Parts of the state could get up to 6 inches of snow. Alexis, what's up with all of this different weather? It's cold, it's snowing, it's not, it's raining.
Well, it's not a spring bazaar, but it is a bizarre spring.
Welcome back to Good Day Columbia, 6:11 now on a Tuesday, and the Palmetto Lifeline is still celebrating the opening of their new facility on Bauer Parkway. It's a very tricky word, that Bauer Parkway. Anyway, with the new digs, of course, comes more room and more dogs and cats. This morning on our Woof Watch, we meet a special little fella who would love to be given a happy home today. Check out George.
This is George. George is an 8-year-old Papillon mix, and he is just the sweetest little dog. He's 8 years old. His owners had to surrender him, and so he's just been with us for a couple weeks, and for whatever reason he hasn't been adopted yet, but he will soon, and hopefully find his home. He's beautiful. He would be a great pet if you're looking for a small dog that doesn't have too much energy. He would just be a great pet, and he's beautiful. You can see a little bit of his coloring. George, show off your fur. There you go. He has some beautiful coloring, and he's just a beautiful dog. He definitely needs a home. He is neutered, he's microchipped and vaccinated, and so he's ready. He's just waiting on someone to fill out an application who wants this sweet little guy.
But what about those great big ears?
You know, I think he loves them. I think they just give him his character, and, you know, makes him feel handsome to have his ears so big, and his nice fluffy tail. Can you show your tail? So he's definitely been cared for. He's definitely been cared for, and, you know, like I said, he's about 8 years old, but still, he has a lot of energy, and or not too much energy to where you're hyper, but he has a great personality, great temperament.
George was so cute. Look at those great big ears. George's 8 years old. He's awesome with people, certainly ready to come home with you. You know, and he's, as Natasha said, microchipped and ready to go. And he's just some of the great dogs available at Palmetto Lifeline. They come spayed, neutered, microchipped, and they've got all their shots. They are good to go. You can go to the news center. You can also check out midlandsconnect.com/GDC. But
look at little George. Now what kind of dog is he again?
He begins with a P.
A Pekingese?
No.
Oh. Papillon.
Papillon.
Okay.
There it is. It's Papillon.
It's cute.
It wasn't a collie.
Nonetheless,
I don't know.
it's very cute. Feisty.
He was like very long hair though. Definitely long hair. But his
long
ears.
Hair don't care.
His hairs were
long
like.
Hair don't care.
Ears are like this big.
I like it.
Humongous.
Very cute.
Ears. So that's
George. Go grab George.
Yeah,
he needs a home.
He does, and he really is quiet and cute too.
Yeah.
He's so cute. And you know what, Janet? Speaking of dogs, there's a lot of talk this year about flea season.
Oh yes.
But actually, that's not very accurate. You see, here in South Carolina, we're lucky enough to be in flea season year-round.
I guess that's good news. Yes. Well, coming up on Good Day, Tyler's sitting down with Dr. Christy Poole to talk about how to keep those four-legged family members flea and tick-free.
Now I feel itchy. I don't like it. Yuck. Okay, we're going to talk about the weather. It's a little chilly out this morning, but changes are on the way. We'll discuss that right after the break. Stay with us.
Checking out your consumer headlines this morning. You know, Tyler, lots of people nowadays seems to be having songs in their heads, and they're trying to figure out if it's be a good hit, but they're not sure if it's good enough.
Well, you know, Friendy, that's true. I mean, you get it in your head, you think, maybe. But sometimes a song doesn't have to be very good to be popular on the internet. In fact, these days, awfulness can turn a tune into a top 10 viral hit. Now, with over 6 million views, these girls certainly think they're hot, hot, hot.
Well, it's got a lot to live up to.
Look at me and tell me the truth.
Does it deserve the title Worst Song Ever?
What the hell did I just watch?
So you just watched Hot Problems, about how hard it is to be hot.
I got the look, I got the butt, but those things don't make me a...
These two tone-deaf heads!
Then they decide to open their mouths and produce this.
Hot girls, we have problems too. We're just like you, except we're hot.
I don't even know why it exists.
Like totally, so everyone on the web can talk about it.
Well,
so do the hot girls really consider themselves hot girls?
I wouldn't say we're that hot girl, but you know, it's fun to sing about it.
Lauren and Drew are California girls who wrote the lyrics in 2 hours and recorded the song at a French studio just for fun, so they say. So did they really mean to be singers?
No, not at all. We really didn't consider ourselves musically talented. Yeah.
Neither does most of the internet. In fact, one critic posted Bleeding Ears with 3 words: make it stop.
They see my blonde hair, blue eyes in class, but they don't know I have a really big piece.
Their voice, like they're not even singing. It's so stupid.
Yes, in fact, we found someone who asked, is it bad that I found this hilarious? Me thinks this is a joke.
I guess you can say it's a joke.
They didn't seem sure.
What do you do?
People are comparing it to Rebecca Black's much ridiculed hit.
It's Friday, Friday.
And it may not be flattery, but others are imitating Hot Problems.
We're just like you. Except we're hot, hot, hot.
So how do they feel about reviews like this is the death of music?
All the negative criticism that we're getting, we're just really kind of brushing it off our shoulders.
I'd rather go f***ing barbershop and let Stevie Wonder give me a free haircut before listening to that. Like us, we have problems too. We're just like you. Except that we're hot. Hot, hot, hot.
Now he's hot.
Okay, again, I've had enough.
Except we're hot.
Welcome back, guys. 6:46 now on a Tuesday, and wow, that is one fat cat. 39 pounds worth. In fact, veterinarians in New Mexico are working to help a cat that has ballooned all the way to 39 pounds. Now, the elderly owner of the cat, named Meow, could no longer care for him, so he's in an animal shelter in Santa Fe. Workers are trying to help Meow slim down gradually and then find him a loving home. Wow, that is a whole lot of 9 lives. I wonder if he has like 12 now. Well, anyway, speaking of finding cats, find a good home. The Palmetto Lifeline is still celebrating the opening of their new facility on Bauer Parkway. And with the new digs comes more room, of course, for kitty cats. This morning on our Whiskers Watch, we get to meet a special little lady who would love to be in your forever home.
Dizzy is about 6 years old. She's queen of the backyard here. She is an awesome cat. She's got great coloring. She's got beautiful eyes. She is just a really, really awesome cat. She's one of the staff favorites that we have here. As you can tell, she's got some long hair, and she normally just tolerates other cats. She's really not going to play with them very often, but she is such a cool and just beautiful, beautiful girl. She is, she's been spayed, microchipped, vaccinated. She's ready to go. She's been with us for a couple weeks, and here, look at, she's just got those great whiskers too. You just gotta love her. She's got a lot of personality, and like I said, she's the queen bee here. So if you're looking for a new diva friend, she's your gal.
Getting a little dizzy there.
Yeah.
We're dizzy.
Well, Dizzy the Diva, anyway. She's spayed. All her shots up today, $150 to bring her home. But she will definitely be the queen of the roost.
I love it.
No doubt. She's a very good little kitty, but very heavy. I went to pick her up and move her. Big cat.
She's not 39 pounds, though.
She's not 39 pounds, but she's, she isn't exactly svelte.
She's not a little light-hearted little thing.
But she actually was really good natured. She just didn't like other cats, so there you go. But Dizzy is certainly available to come home with you.
I love seeing those pets. They just make me so happy.
They have a cat room there, and it's like full of cats. You walk around like everywhere, and like they'll walk in, they're like batting at you. They're playing, not me, but they're like batting at you. One was like kind of batting the back of my head. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're like, what's going on? What's this?
There you
little
go.
towers. Very
awesome
cute.
stuff. Palmetto Lifeline. You can check it out. We'll get links for you at midlandsconnect.com/GDC. And speaking of cats, since we are anyway, some folks really not worrying about fleas and ticks in their cats because, well, they're indoor family members.
But veterinarian Christy Peeler says even if your tabby spends its days stretched out in the sun on a windowsill, there's still a threat of fleas and ticks to look out for.